This buddy, Midland, Texas. It's May 28th, 2019, about 15 till 9 in the morning. I'll get you the timestamp right here off my security system. And I'm making this video. I don't plan on posting it. It's just a proof video. Here at 10 o'clock, I have a meeting at the Midland Police Department with I think his name is Paul Cervantes, and he's with Homeland Security, and I want to talk to him about specifically the human trafficking and then the related crimes, the murders, the burglaries, the theft, the fraud, and all the capital attempted murder in my life, the medical crimes, and all that. I've been working for a couple of days making created a 3-ring binder of evidence files, and then I also have a flash drive with videos and the files on it, and that's what I'm going to show here. And because I'm going to give this to him, but I want this record of it. Okay, and so for the cover is a letter from Congressman Conaway, okay, that I got in 2015, where he I met his staff, talked to him on the phone, met his staff, showed him evidence, sent him evidence, and he sent me to the U.S. Inspector General, which was the right place to go, Horowitz, and but it was a dead end. I would contact him probably over 100 times. My email and phone records will show that, and never got a call back from the U.S. Inspector General. And what they do is investigate corruption, and like the FBI and DEA, and and I have a recorded phone call FBI agent saying he's going to shred evidence and multiple murder attempts and the medical crimes, all that. And then also I called the DEA 2 weeks before I was ambushed and shot in my home. They never looked. So it looks like some of the DEA is, might be setting up citizens who call and report crime and set them up to be murdered, because that's my experience. And so anyway, I'm not going to go through each page, but one of the big things here is these remains were found in 2013 of a young girl between 14 and 21. And I think that's probably the young girl I was talking about that was murdered at the old show party in 2010. And one reason I won't post this, because I put the names that I never post on the internet down here for this investigator, so they can actually do some investigation, and told a few stories here. And then I tabbed it out, the human trafficking section. This was interesting. This was in court. Dr. Mehdi, we subpoenaed them records. That was the ex-wife psychiatrist. And the reason was because I was sitting there, Dr. Mehdi reminded her about how guilty she felt about getting her child involved in prostitution. I tried to bring that up in the protective order here, and I was silenced. And this is a story, rape and murder. This is about the girl being murdered at the old show party. I wrote this story posted it on my Facebook, rape and murder, in 2014, and 2 days later, this Midland police officer murdered his wife. Okay, so suspecting he happened to be, according to my private investigator, one of the secret police inside my home. More file. These are just witness testimonies of I've been to old shows, and it wasn't the only girl who's been raped and murdered. This is about using MLM products as a front for organized prostitution. This is over here in Lubbock, Texas, where I was told there's an underground facility over there. Then we get into the Haley Dunn files, which is important because I was told by different people that she was pimped out, 13-year-old Haley Dunn, for murder, and I have reason to believe that her murder and all that is connected over here. And see, multiple people said her mom was stripping over here at the time, so it makes sense that her mom was also ordered to work that same old show party that my friend was at, and maybe even Haley was there, because she was taking Haley to the strip club with her, 13-year-old little girl, and according to some witness testimony. So anyways, there's a whole section on that, and possibly there's a cover-up, because it looks like whoever's over that Haley Dunn case, I sent all that evidence over to law enforcement. It's out of Scurry County, but he's a former Midland Sheriff Office employee, and it seems like no evidence does anything at all. This is about the previous owner, Mike Lawhon. He died 2 weeks before I moved here, And I show here where the Odessa American posted one death notice for him, said he died in Fort Worth. 4 days later, they changed it and said he died at his residence. And that's the same thing my neighbor told me, is that he died here. So I believe that he was killed here and taken to Fort Worth. And then probably the same people killed him as the ones killed me. Proof of murder attempt and possible motives. And so I got the proof files, such as Lisa Rogers saying I was shot with a 45, size of pellets, 2.5 size different in my gun. The surgeon said there was a lot of plastic in my foot. Ex-boyfriend, ex-wife said she was involved. She took the life insurance booklets. Her childhood friend was Rosa Rodriguez. And then her brother-in-law was the ER doctor, and he happened to own the same house as the builder of my house, Tabor Construction. There was a burglar trapped. Okay, here's some landman, possibly 2 weeks before the murder attempt, that a landman attorney named Matt Hyman, maybe he died here. I put electricity in my door to stop a home invasion, and on my bedroom door, and then a layman attorney died at the same exact time. So his wonder, and then his friends threatened me. That's what this is. Okay. Here's another one, suspected shooter, Eric Perez, and the news agencies around here. I was investigating them, started deleting news stories, so that was kind of a clue that I was on the right track. Here's another guy said that he had tried to kill someone. I wonder if they were referencing trying to kill me, And he at one time was wanted for capital attempted murder, was never charged for it. These are all deleted news stories that News West 9 deleted. Some of them deleted after I told them I was investigating it. Here's another landman, made a comment, made me wonder if he was the shooter. Okay. And then for the longest time one part of the evidence is the voice recorder was stolen, and there was no empty shotgun shells, and that was several years. I posted that on the internet, showed the evidence on that, because we'd subpoenaed the records 2 years after murder attempt. Well, it looks like they come in and they penciled it in, right here, and they crossed out one piece of evidence and write in the 2 pieces of evidence that I made a point of that wasn't there, and so that just shows the police corruption. There's a voice recorder that was stolen. I have a feeling even though they penciled it in, it's no longer there. Or basically this recorder recorded the burglar alarms going off, proving that I was shot during a home invasion. And you can see here in 2013, when Matt Davis printed this, the hole wasn't crossed out. Okay, and remember they crossed that out and they hand wrote something else in, and that was because I was online going, hey, the voice recorder's stolen by these corrupt police, and there's no empty shotgun shells proving I wasn't shot with my shotgun. And medical crimes, they faked the X-rays, and then they took the X-rays of a guy that had been shot with a shotgun, missing his heel bone. Then they took me into surgery and they cut my heel bone out, and they put my name on his X-rays. That's what happened. Here's the timestamps were before they were ordered. So pictures here of all that, who's all there in the operating room, and then very important court. The ex-wife told me the secret is a group of doctors are killing people for profits. I believe them doctors, same ones that are falsifying my X-rays. I told Texas Ranger Strain. Here's another Strain deal. Sent evidence to the FBI, which I recorded FBI powers saying he was going to shred that evidence I sent him. This is, I had FBI agent Dominic write his name down, and because the reason that's important is because I suspect that they had shredded this, they shredded the evidence I gave them then and tried to pretend I didn't go see him, but I have his name, and so yeah, I did go see him. And April Chandler, here she was, she declares me a paranoid schizophrenic, but here I'm cleared by mental health at the hospital. Of course, that was a lie. She made up a life-destroying lie she made up to cover up this capital murder attempt. Even Greg Abbott, when he was the Attorney General, I was sending the proof of the horrific medical crimes. Texas Medical Board, they were notified in 2015. Here's things on tunnels and attic. Now people all over the country are reporting people in their attic. I think it's a widespread racketeering. And This is the email I sent to the mayor and chief of police and the city council. Contained links to 50 videos, burglar alarms going off in my home. Just recently, City Attorney Gates, I requested a list of all the homeowners that reported something in the attic, and he said there was none. Well, I knew that wasn't true because I reported it. I got 3 different police reports showing I called, and then I've got multiple recorded calls right off the police scanner of other homes in the area, and plus emails and stories and everything else. It's going on all over the place. And so this one was Vivint. I installed a Vivint security system in my attic, and they changed the alarm call to a warrant and then changed it back. So it looks like what they're going to do, Vivint called them because there was a burglar in my attic, and then they were going to arrest me, but they changed mine. And notice that was the husband of April Chan. Handwritten notes from 2011 before I shot. And basically it was showing here the daughter of the ex-wife. She's telling us she heard some in the attic. She was scared. I kept this in my journal at work. And so this was provided to me once I was shot, and my supervisor brought it back. This is just a screenshot of burglar alarms, or this was a security system in my attic. In March 3rd, right after I got out of the hospital, 2012, they were disconnecting the camera. Denise Jarrett, she makes this comment about gluing the attic vents. Well, somehow she knew I had glued the attic, but nobody would know that unless you were in my house. So obviously she knew the people breaking in my home. Ricky Ronaldo said he used to live in my home. When he's a kid, he'd go in the tunnels under my home. That's documented. Hunter Bushman, and of the wealthy Bushman family, he's saying that Kristen Nicole Bushman knows something about the tunnels, and I believe he's true. He's right. Rhonda Denman Rogers said there's an underground facility a half block away. This guy tells me, he mentioned basement under Home Depot. Be careful who you're telling to. That's dangerous. You need to be careful who you're talking to about that. Woman in Carlsbad burns her house down. Says somebody's attic. This guy, Jay Chris, says there's people in his attic. 3404 Park Lane. I've got the email from it. Heard this call on the police scanner before I was recording it. And on Story Street, another guy called in Midland, said he heard somebody in the attic for like 3 years. And this house was bought by David Pine. And my realtor that found me this house works for Pine and Beckett. That's kind of interesting. Okay. These are death threats, move comments in the Hobbs Act. And there's many of them. Kill you and get away with it. Stop publicizing their business. Sell and move out. You moron. You need to move or you'll meet God early. You know, he's going to wind up being in a hole. They're going to get the snitch. Buddy Webb, nowhere to be seen. That's just a few of the death threats I've gotten. And here's all the move comments. You know, move, 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 move. Some of them are nice. Some of them are rude, you know. And this is just a drop in the bucket. I actually put the Hobbs Act there. Hobbs Act basically says you can't terrorize a person to sell their property. And that's what they're trying to do. And then, of course, they want to sell it at the price they want to buy it at, you know. They don't want to buy it at the price I sell it. Okay. Maps. These are just Google Maps showing, you know, the area and large parking lot here. We see the ditch behind the Home Depot. You can tell where the ground's a different color. And where I was ambushed and shot. Another home that had the same mortar problem as mine. I wonder if there's an underground facility there. Here's this thing in the backyard of the neighbor's house off the suspected tunnel entrance. Here's the home I was supposed to buy. It was bought by Renee Molinar suspiciously. This truck looked like it was the next door neighbor's truck. And one day I drove out there and I saw a car parked there that same parked in my cul-de-sac many times I thought was connected with the crimes here. These are dated Google Earth maps. And basically it shows when this suspected tunnel entrance was put in the backyard of the neighbor's house and when it was taken out. Okay, so you can get the time range off the Google maps and tell when it's put in, when it was taken out. And okay, and that's just an overview, show you what a perfect place to smuggle drugs, weapons, terrorists, humans, etc. This is the live tree taken out behind. See the trees missing? There it is. Now it's gone. And these are dated. Shows the manhole that was over there. Shows the leftover tunnel pipe laying in the neighbor's yard. Monica Carrasco and the West Mesa murders of Albuquerque. Had some print screens. A Facebook friend that said that she saw Monica Carrasco's Bible and gown, bloody van under her son-in-law's truck. Okay, and also some information on some of the girls murdered up in Albuquerque. There was 11 women murdered, and this guy lives over in Odessa. Okay, additional info, and this is just all kinds of stuff about Rini Escobar Sanchez. Here, there was a death smell and cut up clothes. This guy tells me about bones in the backyard of a house here in Midland. Midland Developers Conference was going on the day before I was shot. Maybe some of them people were here. This is about Judy Munguia, okay, over in Odessa, 1981, missing woman. That's a very, very interesting comments. This is where I had the IP addresses of the people hacking my Gmail in 2012, gave it to FBI. And of course, it's probably shredded. Michael Williams, this hacker or stalker, not a hacker, but a stalker, he uses the picture and the name of a real guy that died right after the 2010 oil show when that girl died. And here's some of his friends. These were mutual Facebook friends of this stalker. So we don't know who it is, but obviously this guy's connected. This is the guy that said all kinds of stuff. Dr. Stalker's the video on that. Rosa Rodriguez caught leaned over the nightstand where my stolen cell phone had been planted with April Chandler next to her. These are the names provided by the private investigator of the secret police. And of course, they don't match the names from the newly found police report, and the newly found police report doesn't match the cameras. And so obviously the reason they withheld that police report is because they're wrong. This one's too dark to see. But basically, these guys were wearing tan. And so it just proves that the private investigator was right. It was Woodward and Naylor that showed up first, and not Dickey and Davis. As this is the new police report that I just got that was withheld from us, didn't even know about for 6 or 7 years. And the reason is because it's falsified, and here we go. This was trying to prove. See, Rosa Rodriguez met me at the 7-Eleven, climbed in my truck. But then the police report said that April Chandler climbed in my truck. Well, that was a lie, but they're ganging up on me, and they're both lying. Well, going through the newly found police report, I'm looking at timestamps, and then I look here. April Chandler filled out a report at the hospital at 11:03, but according to the police logs, she wasn't at the hospital. So it just proves what I was saying all along. It was Rosa Rodriguez met me at the 7-Eleven. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, and this is really interesting. This is dated in. There's the date right there. In January 2016, I sent this $2,000 reward for information for basically the identity of the secret police. Never happened before in the history of America. A citizen offered a reward to identify police. Now remember, they were withholding the police report from me, and at that time that I hadn't paid the private investigator to identify them. And so this was sent to the Texas Attorney General Paxton, to the mayor, city council, chief of police, to all these people that, hey, I'm a citizen, I got a reward, I got police in my house, I can't get them identified. And then just basically character stuff about me. I was a 28-year company man, come down, led the United Way drive, used to part-time professor at the college over in Midland, or over in Hobbs, where I transferred here to Midland. And then I have a flash drive that has all the files plus videos on it. And this is all going to be given to the Homeland this morning.